Hello, everyone. I am Angelik Holloway, the lawyer for doctors. In this short video, we're going to talk about how to break up with insurance and the hidden costs of having an insurance-based practice for doctors in Georgia. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We're going to talk about first your toxic relationship with insurance companies. So I have to give credit. I saw this on LinkedIn. I don't know which physician it was that was talking about the relationship between insurance and physicians and how it's a toxic relationship. And you can't just say just leave, right? Because there is a process that individuals have to go through before they're able to separate. So I'm stealing that from him. But yes, we're going to talk about the toxic relationship with insurance companies, the real costs of an insurance based practice, and how direct pay can create freedom, better patient care, and better self care for you as the doctor. For those of you who do not yet know me, hi, my name is Angelik Holloway. I go by Angie, and I am the lawyer for docs. I help Georgia medical practices protect their license, their practice, and their peace with concierge legal expertise. I've been practicing law now for 8 years. I've represented individuals and businesses and all different types of matters all across the state of Georgia. And now my primary focus is to help medical practice owners avoid chaos in courts with proactive legal strategies. Okay, so let's talk about what are the real costs of an insurance-based practice, right? So here's the top ones that most of my clients have dealt with or are dealing with if they're in the transition process to starting their own direct pay practice. The first one is a high administrative burden. If you are having an insurance-based practices, chances are you have an employee dedicated solely to the claims process, to submitting claims, making sure that your medical codes are correct, going through the appeals process, pre-authorizations, and the like, right? And so you have the high cost of whatever that individual's salary is, in addition to just the maintenance of making sure that you're complying with whatever their requirements are, those payer contracts, trying to renegotiate those to get an additional $5 for this particular medical service or that one, right? So it takes a toll just being able to meet whatever the requirements are administratively, only to get this very little amount of money back, right? So the actual amount of payout that you receive when you provide these medical services, on average, of course, we're not talking about surgery here, but we're talking about a direct primary care visit, or we're talking about a therapy visit, or we're talking about a physical therapy visit, right? It's on average, right? On the low end from like Medicaid, Medicare, you're seeing like single digits. $9 I saw one time for one of my clients who was a psychiatrist, and that was the payout for Medicaid for an appointment, a 50-minute appointment rather. And then on the average side, you'll see $100 to $150 for a standard visit, depending upon the insurance provider. So it's a lot of work, right? A lot of paperwork for a very little amount of money, right? And then ultimately, who has to pay the cost for that, right? So you pay as the physician, the physical therapist, the psychiatrist, the chiropractor, whatever your medical specialty is. You pay the cost of having to have a whole bunch of patients in order to make a decent wage, a decent quality of life. And then the patient also pays because they don't get to spend as much time with you, right? So maybe you have shorter appointments, you're kind of doing this high volume thing, and so you're not able to spend the amount of time that you would like to spend to make those stronger connections and build stronger rapport directly with your patients. All right, so what's the alternative, right? So direct pay, cash pay, concierge type medical services, right? So the alternative, the first benefit is obviously you get to center patient care. For most of my clients, I find that there is a misalignment between the type of service they want to provide and the type of service they're able to provide in this context, right? So if you're going to do insurance based, you're going to have high volume, very low amount of time you can dedicate. if you are going to decenter that, right, and you're going to do direct pay, now you get to have longer appointments. You get to customize treatment plans. You get to provide a higher level of attention and care, which in most cases is what a lot of my clients are looking for. They don't want to practice medicine in this kind of rat race type of way. They want to be able to really help individuals in their medical specialties. And by having this direct pay model, you're able to open yourself up to get what you deserve as far as payment, but also establish that emotional, mental connection with your patient. And then secondly, you get to center wellness for yourself. So many clients have reported that they feel burnt out, that they feel misalignment, that they feel like they're working too hard for too little money, right? That they haven't taken a vacation in years, that this is not what they envisioned when they went to medical school or PT school or therapy school, all the different trainings that you've gone through. You didn't work this hard so that you could have a misalignment with your passion, with your purpose, right? And so by implementing a direct pay model, you're able to make more money, care for your patients better, and also you can make sure that you have time for yourself, for your family, for your travels, whatever it is that you want to do with your spare time. All right, guys. So I'm going to tell a little bit about my story. If you've looked at my website, you'll see I've also shared some details there. But this is like kind of my own personal journey to wellness. And so a lot of you may have already know that I use direct pay practices as a patient. Several years ago when I was frustrated with the medical system, right? I had GI issues. I was throwing up every day. I had all of these kind of unexplained symptoms, fatigue, and it got to the point where I've been to specialist after specialist after specialist, and no one could figure out what was going on, right? Or no one had the time, rather, to figure out what was going on. And so I turned to direct pay practices in different specialties. They didn't accept insurance, but they were able to listen to me and figure out what it was that was going on with me. And I was able to achieve wellness by working with them as well as naturopathic doctors. And so I am basically a testament to how a direct pay practice can influence a patient's well-being. And so I used it to heal myself, and a lot of your patients will do the same. And I also just wanted to share with you guys, I've tried legal insurance, right? It's not as convoluted as the medical insurance industry, but I did try it for my practice for a short period, and it's a lot of the same issues that you guys have in the medical side, which is it's very low amount of money. It's a long cycle to actually get paid. And then, you're not being able to provide the type of legal support that you want to. And so I know from firsthand experience that, just working directly with your clients for me or your patients for you to get paid is a much easier and a lot less stressful and a lot less overhead for you as a Georgia doctor. All right. So if this is sounding like, okay, this is what I want to do, right? This sounds like this is in alignment. This sounds like self-care and wellness and all of the things that I'm looking for. What I would encourage you to do is to schedule a Start My Practice session, and we will talk about where you should spend your legal budget, what your top priorities are to start this direct pay practice, so you can do this in a legally sound way that is stress-free for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this short video. Again, my name is Angie Holloway. I am the lawyer for docs, and I look forward to chatting with you soon. Bye-bye.